Hari Om. Chapter 12 is a chapter where we have a divine reassurance from Bhagwan himself, from Krishna, that for all spiritual seekers who want to be loved by him, who want to be close to him, and who can be, by doing what? By absorbing, by having some of the qualities, special qualities of spiritual qualities in themselves. What are these spiritual qualities? And the word spiritual may scare away the ordinary man, but these are not spiritual in the sense of something that is beyond this world. It is something to do with our daily interaction. These are qualities that will bring divinity and beauty and peace into our daily interactions with the world of objects and people and situations. And of course, Bhagwan says, Same Priyaha, those will bring, qualities will bring people close to him also. We saw many of these qualities, and for example in verse number 15, we saw Yasman no dvijyate lokaha na udvijyate lokaha, a person who is incapable of disturbing other people through his words or actions or even thought. You know that thoughts have vibrations. If you are thinking ill of someone, instinctively the others in the room around you will sense that negativity and enmity. So no dvesha through words, thoughts or action cannot disturb anybody. Na udvijyate. Can we be such people? But then we see in the world that even saints are envied. That means those people who are envied means they are disturbed, isn't it? They are disturbed by the very Gyan and Shanti and Mahima and Samman and Adar which the saint or the Siddha person gets. Yes, there will be such people, but intentionally never to disturb others. How to live in this world? Live like fish in water. The fish neither disturb the water, nor does the water ever disturb the fish, although they are so much a part of each other. And lokan no dvijyate, also be such a person who doesn't get easily hurt by other people. Why? You mean there are no hurtful people around us? Yes, there always are. There are all kinds of people in everybody's life, and there will be some who will try to take advantage of us, some who will take us for granted, some who will totally ignore us, or some who will be ungrateful. Of course there will be such people, or even envious and jealous. Those people are always there, constant. That's a constant factor in everybody's life. So what do? How is it that we will not get disturbed by them? Simple. We will assume that they have been doing all those actions because of their own swabhava, and their own swabhava they cannot help, because they are not examining it, they are not looking at it, they are not introspecting कि मेरा behavior क्या है, मैं अपने स्वभाव के हिसाब से कुछ भी बोले जा रहा हूँ, कुछ भी किए जा रहा हूँ, और लोगों को चाहे hurt हो या कुछ हो. That means the person is not introspective और अपने स्वभाव के हिसाब से वो कर रहा है. So what we have to do is just be Kshami, just forgive them and move on. Otherwise, we will become like a stagnant pool of water. The river is running by and it is so dynamic, so beautiful, so free, and yet we decide to hold on in our minds the old hates and resentments and anger, and why is that person so ungrateful, they should have done this. Now what I am holding on to makes my mind like a stagnant, putrid, rotting pool of water, because that water is not moving. That water has no way to drain itself out into the ocean. It's become a stagnant pool. So we don't want our minds to be like the pool of stagnant water. We want it to be like the river, free and moving only and only towards its goal of meeting the ocean. Bhagavad Prapti is our only goal. That is the only goal of human existence. So if Bhagavad Prapti is the only goal of human existence, then why can't we live like the river, free and spontaneous and bubbling with joy and laughter, rather than being that insecure and resentful, holding on to old angers, the stagnant pool of water. So, lokan no dvijyate. Do not let the world hurt you either. You don't also hurt others. Yasman no dvijyate. Verse number 15, chapter 12. Also it says, harsha marsha bhayo dvega muktaha. That such a person is muktaha. Muktaha from what? Free from what? Free from 4 things. Only 4 things. That is envy, anxiety, fear, and believe it or not, from harsh, from joy. Why? Because the moment we hang on to joy and we don't realize that all joy is short-lived, the moment it is gone, we experience the opposite of joy being sorrow. We say, oh, where is that joy gone? I want it. So hanging on to, so such a person actually is not hanging on to even joy or fear or anxiety or envy. Why are all these things attached to us and cause us so much disturbance? Because I am too attached to the I. Basically it is the I. Mera bhay, mera joy, my anxiety, my envy and my insecurity and my or mera mamatva jo hai, that is causing all these things. So Bhagavan says, drop it. Now be mukta. How beautifully he says, harsha, amarsha, bhaya, udvega, mukta ho. Second line, become mukta. Why? Sachame priyaha. I love such people. Who says? Krishna says. So it's like a divine invitation to just walk into his arms, and he's saying, I'm waiting here. If only you could give up these bad old habits of yours, of the mind, of living in this world out of fear and sorrow and chasing the joys and being envious of those who have more dhan or sukh than you. अरे धन और सुख सबके लाइफ में अपने अपने प्रारब्ध के हिसाब से आया हुआ है. आपके कंपटीशन में तो नहीं आया है ना. वो अपना प्रारब्ध कैसे आया है हमको? हमारा प्रारब्ध आया है हमको अपने पूर्व कर्मों से. माई ओन कार्मिक लॉ हैज डिक्टेटेड व्हाट आई विल गेन और व्हाट आई विल लूज. So what is the point of being envious and losing our own spiritual divine energy in being envious and jealous? And therefore I can never come close to God. His arms, his waiting arms can never encircle me or embrace me or hug me, because he says you have to drop these in order to be mine. What a beautiful invitation from Krishna. Sachame priyaha. Come, I am here and waiting to love you. Then he goes on to say, there are some more changes, my dear Arjun, that you have to make in your mind and emotion and in the way you emotionally interact with the world. You have to make some changes. Now, this is a gentle reminder to all of us that the way we have been living has caused us a lot of pain and sorrow. Of course, there have been joys too. But why do we become victim to sorrows and disappointments and frustration? Because there are some of these things we have not understood about the nature of the self. The nature of the self is permanent. It is avyaya. It is of the nature of Paramatma. And that no one can touch. Even God cannot take it away from us. Consciousness. Consciousness is who I am. It is my true nature. Even God cannot take it away from me. Leave alone these other people around me. So what am I fearful about? Nothing to fear. So in order to reach God, I have to understand my own nature. It's like sugar saying, I want to give up my sweetness. But sugar can never give up its sweetness because that is its essential nature. Uska wo tattva hai. What is our essential nature? Pure consciousness. How can we ever give it up? Of course, even if we try, we can't. Even if we die, we cannot give it up. Even if we drop this body. And therefore, that permanence is actually ours. So what do we have to hang on to? We have to hang on to that truth. And thereby, nothing in the world will then trouble us. So the sorrows can actually be, the grip of the sorrows can be loosened by merely understanding what is my nature, what is the nature of Paramatma, and what is this Jagat doing in between, this Sansar? Oh, that is only Maya, Ani Jani cheez hai. I and my Paramatma, we are permanent, we are together, we are one. Krishna aur main ek hai. That same tattva is in me. So sugar and sweetness cannot be separated. We as a Jeev, our Atma and Jeev, we cannot be separated. Yes, the Jiva is separated when the body dies, but then that Atma still remains as one with the entire Samashti. Samashti consciousness, that is the entire macrocosmic consciousness. So that is Paramatma, right? So if that's who I am, then what is there to worry about? Now in number 16, Bhagavan says, a few changes still have to be made in the way you live as a jiva. Because you are a jiva and a human being interacting with so many things in the world, somehow you are blocking me, Krishna. You are blocking me from you. What should I do? So live in this way. Number 16, chapter 12. Anapekshah shuchir dakshah. Okay, anapekshah. अपेक्षा ना करो भाई. अपेक्षा यानी expectation. Why do you want to live with expectations of the world? Is the world designed to fulfill our wishes, individual wishes? In that case, if my wishes are fulfilled, then my neighbors will not be. If my neighbors' wishes are all fulfilled, then there's not enough to fulfill mine. So kiski wish fulfill hogi? So anapekshaha, the world is not designed just to fulfill our own wishes. It is just an inert jagat. First of all, what is it that we expect? अपेक्षा किस चीज से होती है? अपेक्षा हम सबकी यही होती है कि हर चीज हमारी जो जिंदगी में हो रही है वो मेरे स्वभाव के अनुकूल होना चाहिए. It should be in accordance with my own स्वभाव and my liking. Is that possible? Even logically it's not possible. And so when we want right outer conditions, the right relationships with people outside, right situations, they should all be in tune with what I want, and only then I will be thrilled. And of course we are thrilled. We are filled with joy when we do achieve those things. But that joy, that thrill lasts a short while. We know that. And a true devotee says what? The true devotee says, okay, I may get joy from the world, I may not get it, it's okay. But where do I draw my joy from? Arey, you are already a source of joy, which means if you are a computer, then you are plugged into your UBS. You know, my computer is plugged into its UPS, uninterrupted power supply. Sometimes when my UPS trips, then my computer goes completely blank and it breaks down, and then I cannot function. I mean, the computer cannot function. In the world, what happens? I don't have an uninterrupted power supply, but I have a UBS, uninterrupted bliss supply. Bliss, happiness. वो तो कहीं नहीं गया है. In fact, I was born with that UBS attached to me. तो ये computer तो बहुत ही divine है, because it came with the UBS, uninterrupted bliss supply. If I have my UBS, then why would I go around in the world and seek this thrill and that thrill and this excitement and that excitement? If it comes to me, well and good. I wouldn't be hankering and craving and then bemoaning the loss of it when it's gone, because it will go at some point. That is the problem. Not the fact that one should not enjoy, but hooking our happiness onto these thrills forever. That is और अपेक्षा. ये अपेक्षा आप दुनिया से न करें. अर्जुन, ये कहा गया है कृष्ण ने कहा, नो एक्सपेक्टेशंस अनपेक्षः. क्योंकि हम फॉल्स एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं. किससे? सभी चीज से, वस्तु से, व्यक्ति से, परिस्थिति से, पूरी संसार से एक्सपेक्टेशंस जो हमारी हैं, दे आर फॉल्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस जगत इज फॉल्स, दिस संसार इज फॉल्स. No, but I am experiencing it. How can it be false? Yes, we do experience a dream also, but the dream is also gone when we wake up, isn't it? Then we say, no, that dream was true. So then we will have to ask like Raja Janak, कि वो ड्रीम में भी मुझे दुख हो रहा था और अभी देखो मैं कितना सुखी हूँ, तो सत्य क्या है? वो ड्रीम सत्य था कि ये सत्य है? उसको पूछना पड़ेगा. So the answer is neither the dream nor what we are living now, both are untrue, asat. What's the logic? We all know it by now. The logic is because both are coming and going. आते हैं, जाते हैं. It's not permanent. And therefore, अगर कोई मिराज है, मिराज यानी कि मृग तृष्णा, no, it's called something in Hindi. The mirage in the desert that I see, I want to quench my thirst with the water of the mirage. लोग कहेंगे पागल हो क्या? It's a mirage. It cannot quench your thirst. वैसे ही हम दुनिया में रह रहे हैं. पागल हैं क्या कि दुनिया में I know no matter how much I enjoy this or that, जिसका भी भोग कर ले, at the end of the life I will say बस इतनी सी लाइफ थी, मैंने तो ये भी करना था, वो भी करना था. But the main thing is we have lost out on what we really needed to do. So that's coming up later. Right now we have to understand a mirage cannot quench our thirst. The sansar cannot keep us unconditionally and permanently fulfilled and happy and joyous forever. जितनी जल्दी ये बात समझ जाएं, उतनी जल्दी we will be able to move out of the vortex of sansar and move towards the spiritual understanding or Krishna, whatever you call it. So I want to attain everything according to my own anukul paristhiti. I want it to be conducive to me. No, that will not happen. For example, relationships. Just one small example. Of course, the world is full of all kinds of bhog which we do. But in relationships, what happens is, I don't understand that I am finite. That means I am a limited being, right? Of course I am limited. My mind and my body, my intellect is limited. And then I interact with another human being whose mind is also limited and body and intellect is limited. What am I looking for in the relationship? I am looking for infinite happiness. अब साइंस क्या कहता है? फाइनाइट प्लस फाइनाइट कैन नेवर बी इनफाइनाइट इज इक्वल फाइनाइट प्लस फाइनाइट विल ऑलवेज बी फाइनाइट. तो रिलेशनशिप, हम जितने लिमिटेड हैं, रिलेशनशिप भी उतनी ही सीमित या लिमिटेड रहेगी. So what are we seeking? Relationship is just one example of seeking infinite from the finite. So then what is the truth? The truth is that there is only one avinashi. Avinashi, that means indestructible, param truth. The moment we hang on to that, we have a UBS, uninterrupted bliss supply. Then we are not desirous or begging for happiness from any object or situation or event or person out there in the world. There's no need to beg. मुझे खुश कर दो, मुझे ये करना है. अरे खुशी वैसे भी आएगी according to our prarabdha. But begging is what makes us such poor human beings. Kripana phala hetavaha. We are crippled, wretched creatures living out of a begging bowl and begging from everyone. मुझे खुश कर दो, और जो मुझे खुश करते हैं मैं उनके साथ रहता हूँ. But this begging bowl is not needed because I carry happiness in me. My begging bowl, in fact, my bowl is so full. I should be offering happiness to others. It should be so full of happiness. Okay, the second word is udasino. No, the second word is shuchir dakshaha. Two qualities in one word, shuchi and dakshaha. Shuchi means pure. Okay, now what does it mean pure? Pure simply means that my mind is not so crowded with my own desires and anger if they are not fulfilled, and so very much filled with resentment or anger or kama, krodha, mad, lobha, moha, vikar. All this vikar is not in my mind. So then what should I hold in my mind? Is it blank? No, because we have the capacity of a good brain and mind which has been given to us. Why can't we offer it as a gift to work for the welfare of others? That is the purity. One interpretation could be that is a kind of purity or shuchi that Bhagwan is looking for. Keep the welfare of others around you. Because it does very often happen that in a bus there are so many people who don't want the back seat because the last seat, because it is bumpy and it hurts the back, etc., etc. If we are in good health and if we have the capacity, why can't we offer it to others and say किसी ना किसी को तो बैठना ही है, somebody has to be uncomfortable over there, so why not me? Keeping the welfare, even in public, keeping the welfare of others, keeping them in mind before we serve ourselves. So when we go to langars and all, make sure that we are offering our services before we sit down to the meal. All that comes naturally to a person who is already keeping the others' happiness first in the mind, and then say, okay, ठीक है, मैं बाद में कर लूँगा, ठीक है, I am all right where I am. This was very much evident during lockdown. during lockdown, there were many people who had the capacity and the time and the inclination and good luck to reach out to millions of people. And so even if one person reached out to 10 in the immediate vicinity, the world was taken care of. Because just one person needs to take care of 10 around them, the needy ones. That's it, the world is taken care of. So Shuchi, if you keep our minds clean, then we are very happy to live in a way like this. Now, for example, we can take an ancient story about Yudhishthir. What happened was he, for something that he had done, it's a long story, he landed up in hell. And when he was in hell, he heard the great sound of wailing and screaming, because in hell everyone felt tortured and there was fire all around, and so naturally they were all wailing and screaming. Yudhishthira stood there for some time, and after a while he noticed something strange. He noticed that the sound of wailing and screaming began to subside, and then he wondered why it was so. So then he was told later on that look, you are here by mistake, we are going to take you to heaven, so why don't you just take a transit to heaven. Yudhishthir said, no, wait, when I was here in my presence, the people felt good in my presence and they forgot their own pain and sorrow and they calmed down. If my presence can calm down these people, then please let me be here for some more time now. Let me be in hell for some more time, because some people are feeling calm because of me. That was the response of Yudhishthir. Now that's the quality of mind which uplifts ourselves and it uplifts others too. So that is about Shuchi, pure. Daksha is another quality that Bhagwan says if you can cultivate it, that will be beautiful. What does it mean, Daksha? Daksha, if you look at the literal meaning, it simply means skillful. Okay, so we are skillful in all the work that we do, our professions and looking after our families, etc. We are all Daksha. Because we are prompt, we are efficient, we are enthusiastic, we are dynamic, and we are happy to do that. That is Dakshata. Bhagwan says, संसार में दक्षता तो आप रखते हो, क्या हम अपने स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में उतने ही प्रॉम्प्ट एंड अलर्ट एंड डायनामिक जितना फिजिकली होते हैं, उतना ही एंथुजियास्टिक हो सकते हैं? Which means what? That for our spiritual life also, I should dash out of my bed and say, this is what I'm going to learn today, or this is what I'm going to offer to people around me, with the same kind of enthusiasm that I do my own personal work. ये दक्षता जो हमारी संसार में हम दिखाते हैं, डायनामिज्म, एंथुजियाज्म एंड प्रॉम्प्टनेस, आप स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में भी दिखा दो. दैट इज रियल दक्षता. Because here in Gita we are not talking about living in sansar, we are talking about movement towards a more divine, spiritual, free life, moksha. Now, what does it mean? How can I be in my spiritual life more daksha or efficient or skilled, let's say, skilled? Simply, we have to learn to meditate. I can't keep putting it off कि कभी कोई गुरु मिलेगा तो हम सीखेंगे. नहीं. Today, if you decide I want to learn, for example, if I want to learn how to make pizza, don't I start looking at YouTube and start calling up people and find out this recipe, that recipe? कितनी दक्षता हम दिखाते हैं. We show a lot of dakshata when we want something from the world, but we can do the same for spiritual life. Yes, I want to learn meditation. देखते हैं हम कहाँ से पता कर सकते हैं. I want to know about the lives of great masters, उनकी biography, रामकृष्ण की, and also maybe even Gandhi ji and Vivekanand ji and Chinmaya ji and his own guru Tapovan Maharaj. Find some biographies and start reading them and saying that I want to know more. And prayer, for example, in prayer when I quiet down my mind, I am more daksh when I say I want to know where my mind is going. I want to make it focused on God. In bhakti we say that, and in jnana we say I want to know just where my mind is going. I want it to be focused on pure consciousness. I can know it only when I am vigilant. If I don't know where my mind is going, I won't even know where my actions are going. My words also will be uncontrolled, which very often they are. Uncontrolled words, uncontrolled thoughts अरे उसको ऐसा क्यों हो गया, आई एम नॉट एबल टू कैच माई ओन एनवी और माई ओन एंगर. सो विजिलेंस इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ दक्षता. इतना हम समझ सकते हैं. भगवान इज सेइंग दक्ष बनो इन स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ, अदरवाइज देयर विल बी अ लैडर ऑफ फॉल. लैडर ऑफ फॉल हमने चैप्टर 2 में क्या देखा था, ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसः संग्रस्तेषु उपजायते. एक डिजायर दिखा, बस हमारा माइंड उसमें अटैच हो गया, उस अटैचमेंट को लेके हम संगा संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते. वो अटैचमेंट को लेके हम उसके पीछे पड़ गए, नहीं मिला तो क्रोध आया, क्रोध को कंट्रोल नहीं किया, क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः. दिस इज सम काइंड ऑफ अ circus in the mind. क्रोध आया and then I slipped down into forgetfulness and expressed my anger, and in that forgetfulness सम्मोहा स्मृति विभ्रमः, I forgot what is right and wrong. स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धि नाशः, बुद्धि का नाश वही हो गया हमारा जब हमने अपने मन को कंट्रोल नहीं किया. मन का यहाँ तो एंगर की बात है, बट एनीथिंग इन द माइंड. बुद्धि नाशात् प्रणश्यति. दिस इज आवर प्रणश्यति यानी डिस्ट्रक्शन. दिस इज आवर डिस्ट्रक्शन. This is the 8-step ladder of fall which we had seen in chapter 2. तो भगवान कह रहे हैं आप थोड़े से विजिलेंट रहेंगे ना, दक्ष रहेंगे ना. That is the third word in the first line. दक्ष रहिए, you will never slip on that ladder. And so vigilance becomes nothing but a dynamic and enthusiastic effort towards knowing the truth. कि मुझे सत्य पहचानना है. अब मैंने दुनिया में बहुत कुछ देख लिया भाई, बहुत कुछ जितना देखना था देख लिया, और जो कुछ आगे भी देखना होगा. लाइफ विल इन एनी केस लाइफ इज मूविंग ऑन. आई हैव अ फैमिली एंड अ प्रोफेशन एंड दिस एंड दैट. तो व्हाई एम आई चेजिंग इट? लाइफ विल अनफोल्ड in any case the way it does. Therefore, I am reminded of the words of Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji, and many of these lines were sent during Holi, so I couldn't help but notice. Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji says, देखी मैंने बहुत दिनों तक दुनिया की रंगीनी. I have seen all the colors and happiness and excitement and exuberance of this संसार. देखी मैंने बहुत दिनों तक दुनिया की रंगीनी, किंतु रही कोरी की कोरी मेरी चादर जीनी. That means it has been unable to affect my mind deeply. Yes, temporarily I am in excitement, but nothing deep has been affected by all the rangini of this world. तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो तो होली है. This was a message of Holi actually by Harivansh Rai Bachchan. He saying, तुम अपने मन को रंग लो, अपने मन में तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो तो होली है. That means if you know yourself. तन के तार छुए बहुतों ने. Many relationships and many people have come into our lives, but मन का तार न भीगा. No one has affected me very deeply spiritually. मन का तार न भीगा. तो इसलिए तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो तो होली है. होली is only if you begin to know yourself deeply. Anyway, moving on, Krishna says, also cultivate one more beautiful quality, that is udasino gatavyatha. First line, udasino. Udasin means ut means above, asin means to be seated. Utasin, अरे हम ऊपर कहाँ चढ़ के बैठे? हाँ, लिटरली नहीं बैठना है. उदासीन यानी you observe your own life and the lives of your close ones as if you are on a mountain top. उदासीन, ऊपर बैठे हुए हैं और उस माउंटेन टॉप से हम नीचे बाढ़ आई है तो बाढ़ को देख रहे हैं, नीचे फायर लग गया फायर देख रहे हैं. I am not going to be totally disturbed by what's going on, because I have decided my mind is going to be seated above all the happenings in the world, and yes, even in my own life. That's the tough part. That is why it is a sadhana. That is why उसको सिद्धि करने में जन्म लग जाते हैं. सिद्धि यानी to attain that spiritual status. Because हमारी लाइफ में जो हो रहा है उसको भी मैं अलग से देखूं, जैसे वहाँ नीचे बाढ़ आई है या फायर है. Yes, because all the troubles and pains and disappointments and afflictions are going to be there. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसी के इतने पास में बैठे हुए होते हैं ना, अपने एफ्लिक्शंस एंड पेन्स एंड ट्रबल्स के, दैट वी एग्जैजुरेट इट्स इम्पोर्टेंस. ऐसा लगता है बहुत बड़ा है, बहुत बड़ा है, मेरा ही दुख सबसे बड़ा है, मेरा ही डिसअपॉइंटमेंट सबसे बड़ा है, मेरा फाइनेंशियल लॉस सबसे बुरा है. We tend to exaggerate the importance because we are sitting so close. उदासीन, भगवान says in the first line. अब थोड़ा सा हट के, दूर से, ऊपर से देखो ना, then you will see that yes, this is part of life. It is happening to everyone and it is also just coming and going. ये समय भी निकल जाएगा. आगमा, अनित्याः, सभी अनित्य है. So don't exaggerate its importance. Udasin is sometimes translated very loosely in English. English doesn't have a word for it, sorry to say. So they translate it as indifferent. I am indifferent to your sorrow. Arey, how can it be? Then I cannot be karun. Karun means compassionate. Contradiction हो जाएगा. No, I have to be compassionate and yet I don't let my sorrows or your sorrows leave deep scars on my mind. That is udasin. I cannot be indifferent. It would become carelessness. कि I don't care for you. चलो ठीक है, आपका प्रॉब्लम आपका है. उदासीन, unfortunately the word indifferent is too misleading, but anyway, I'm tired of complaining about the English language in comparison to Sanskrit, of course. So, in fact, I'm reminded of the beautiful words of Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling, who was the Anglo-Indian journalist born in India, and he also wrote Jungle Book. So he had written this beautiful poem called If. If was a poem written to his son and we used to read it in school. One of the lines he says, if neither foes yani enemies, neither foes nor friends can hurt you. If all men count with you, that means you regard them, you give them due regard, if they count with you, but none too much. But none too much. इतना भी मत exaggerated importance दो किसी भी वस्तु, व्यक्ति, परिस्थिति, घटना या relationship को, that they have the power then to disturb you. Rudyard Kipling. In fact, since we are on the topic and all these words are covered in the poem If, so allow me to read some part of this poem by Rudyard Kipling, If. It covers a lot of the points Krishna has covered. He says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs. Keep your head meaning be balanced, be sama sukha dukkha, sama buddhihi, balanced in your mind when all about you are going crazy with anger or frustration or sorrow. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and then they are blaming it on you and still you keep your head, sama sukha dukkha. And if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, there will be times when people will call you a liar or whatever. If you can keep your head, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you and but this is important, but make allowances for their doubting too. Make allowances for their doubting too. इसका मतलब अरे करने दो ना, वो अपने स्वभाव की वजह से आपको बुरा और भला कह रहे हैं. They are doubting you or calling you names or making you or calling you a cheat. If they are doubting you, अपने स्वभाव, make allowances, make enough room in your mind for their doubting. Then he says to his son, if, and the whole poem on if is beautiful. If you can wait, patience. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being hated and don't give way to hating. See how beautiful? इसका मतलब क्षमी भी हो, तितिक्षा भी रखो, अद्वेष्टा भी हो, अद्वेष्टा. If you are being hated, don't give way to hating. Or being lied about. If you are being lied about, don't deal in lies. Don't deal in lies. And if you, and in the end he says, after giving some more beautiful advice, he says, then, so what? Then you will be a man, my son. You will be a man, my son, मतलब कि यही एडवाइस कृष्णा अर्जुन को दे रहे हैं. That then you will be a human being, a true human being, which in another verse Krishna calls Nara. You will be a Nara, worthy of being called a Manushya. Otherwise we are like any other creature. वो भी सब अपनी सिक्योरिटी के लिए, अपने सुख भोग के लिए सब कुछ करते हैं इंतजाम. But to be called a Nara or a Manushya, yes, then we have to cultivate these qualities. Maybe later we will read the complete poem at some point. But right now we must complete verse number 16. So in the first line, Bhagavan says, Anapekshah Shuchir Dakshah, Anapekshah Shuchir Dakshah, Udasino Gatavyatah. Be Anapekshah, not expecting, Shuchir, pure, Dakshah, vigilant, Udasino, dispassionate, let's say, detached from things. Gatavyatah. What is Gatavyatah? Gatavyatah means untroubled. अच्छा, तो ये हम अपने आप से कैसे समझें? मुझे तो पूरी दुनिया ट्रबल कर रही है. You know, these other people are troubling me. So, if we are daksha, जो उन्होंने पहले कहा था, यानी कि if I am vigilant about where my mind is going and why it is reacting to the rest of the world, and if I am udasin, slightly dispassionate and detached from things going on around me, then in any case I will be untroubled. तो दक्ष, उदासीनता और दक्षता ही हमको गतव्यतः बनाएगी, untroubled. So this is the price to pay. गतव्यतः बनना है तो the price to pay for it is to be daksha or very very vigilant, efficient in our spiritual life. By efficient is also not a good word. Very enthusiastically dynamic and prompt in our spiritual life कि हाँ मुझे ये सिद्धि करना है. So day and night I keep time aside for it, इस तरह से. और फिर वो कहते हैं second line, सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो भक्त समे प्रियः. सर्वारंभ परित्यागी, सर्व सब कुछ, आरंभ शुरुआत करने के पहले त्याग कर दो. अच्छा, ऐसे कैसे होगा? हमको तो कितने प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करने हैं, कितने न्यू चेन ऑफ शॉप्स डालना है, कितने न्यू ड्रेसेस, न्यू ज्वेलरी एंड न्यू बिजनेसेस शुरू करने हैं, न्यू क्लासेस शुरू करने हैं, न्यू कोर्सेज भी शुरू करने हैं. हाउ कैन वी से सर्व आरंभ, स्टार्टअप, यानी कि स्टार्टअप मत करो. भगवान नहीं, ऐसा नहीं कह रहे हैं भगवान. ही इज सेइंग व्हाटएवर यू बिगिन इन लाइफ, begin with the thought that you are not going to attach my mamatva, ये मेरा है और मेरे लिए है, and asakti, keep asakti in it, that is detach from it and keep phal tyag away from it. Only 3 things Bhagwan has told us. इतना छोटा सा काम उन्होंने बोला है और हम लोग नहीं कर पाते हैं. कुछ भी करो, he says that keep your mamatva, मेरा और मेरे लिए, and be detached from it and keep the phal tyag, इससे मुझे क्या मिलेगा, सिर्फ मेरे लिए, ये तुम दूर रखो अपने काम से. So that means sarvaram, I should not do startups. No, of course you should do startups. You should therefore sometimes it's loosely translated as do not start any new undertakings. Yes, do not start any new undertakings with mamatva and attachment and for karma phal only. No new undertakings, no new projects, no new courses, no new clothes, no new series or whatever, only with that bhava. Because new चीजें तो हमको करनी है, commencements तो करने हैं. So I'm reminded of a close friend of mine who wanted to start a business. When we say Sarva Arambha, I'm reminded of startup. Sarva Arambha, he wanted to start a business. And when we talked to him, he did not talk about the kind of profit he would gain or the kind of land he would acquire. It was an ordinary business, you know, some kind of a food processing or packaging business, something like that. The only thing he kept saying again and again is, through this business, I want to create employment for 5,000 people in my locality. And that was his main aim. कि मेरी वजह से मुझे 5,000 people को employment create करना है in the township where I am going to bring this up. And that was, it doesn't mean that he will not get profit. Of course he will, otherwise how will he pay his 5,000 people? Of course profits come from it. So people should not misunderstand. Very often people, when we talk of detachment in Gita and all, very easily people equate it with idling. कि मैं तो idle रहूँगा, मतलब नाकारा रहूँगा. अरे नहीं, you have to be very dynamic, very use all the resources and energy and mind and intellect we have for the service of someone. So I was struck by and he is a very young man in his 30s. I was struck by the values and I was thinking ये values आते कहाँ से हैं? कुछ तो पूर्व जन्म से ही आते हैं, क्योंकि वो उसका इट वाज अ नेचुरल थिंग टू हिम कि ही सेड कि नहीं, आई हैव टू क्रिएट दिस. And so with God's grace, the business is doing well. He has imported some great machinery from Germany, and profits are coming in and rolling in. But I don't hear of him talking of profits. He talks of people, of the people who are happy because of this business. Anyway, talking about Sarva Arambha, new commencement कर सकते हैं. Although Krishna says Parityagi, he means Tyagi means you don't start any new venture with mamatva, asakti, attachment, or with karma phal, desire. Okay, but then I am the karta, तो फल तो मुझे चाहिए. सबसे पहले हमारे मन में ये आता है, जितनी बार गीता सुनेंगे सबसे पहले मन में आता है, but I am the karta यार. I am putting in so much effort and time and energy, even my resources I am putting into it. How is it that I cannot do sukh bhog? Okay, so bhog meaning making the very purpose of your life bhog is shifting the life to materialism. Bhog will come, sukh will come, but that is only part of coming and going of life, to be treated as such. For example, a simple example can be given. If when we are cooking food is not cooked literally by the fire. The nature of fire is heat, and because its nature is heat, its intrinsic nature is heat, in the presence of fire the food gets cooked, right? The fire is not cooking the food कि अरे मैंने बनाया है, इतना अच्छा bake किया है. The fire itself will not cook, but because its nature is heat, in the presence of the fire the food gets cooked. In the same way, we are instruments. We have all the instruments and ability of action, but all our abilities and capacity and our intelligence and all this क्षमता, ये हमको कहाँ से मिली है? They are regulate कैसे होती है? It could be out of control also. All my abilities and capacities and talents are all regulated and governed by another power, by another presence. In the presence of that consciousness, yes, I can act. चाहे हम में जितना भी टैलेंट हो, वो कॉन्शियसनेस साथ नहीं देगी तो हम कर ही नहीं सकते. तो in the presence of consciousness, because my intrinsic nature is consciousness, my instruments merely do the action and I perform those actions. So श्रेय किसको दिया जाएगा? To the presence, not to the actor. मैं करता हूँ. Okay, that will create a lot of disturbance. Then Bhagwan says, सर्व आरंभ परित्यागी यो मद भक्त समे प्रियः. मुझे तो ऐसे लोग बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद हैं. Number 17, there are some more qualities coming up, and by now they are easy to understand. If we cultivate these qualities, there is a divine reassurance that yes, you will come closer to me, and not only will you be very happy in life, not because you were given too much of abundance, material abundance. How can we get material abundance through all these actions? We can get the bliss which is already ours. Without even getting the material stuff, we can get the bliss. See the shortcut? So in number 17 he says, Yo na hrishyate na dveshti na shochati na kankshati. Yo na hrishyati na dveshti. Na hrishyati, not elated. Why are we, when you know that everything is happening in the presence of Bhagwan, in the presence of consciousness, and because, so don't be elated on obtaining some great results. Na dveshti, and don't give way to hating. Being hated, don't give way to hating. Rudyard Kipling. Being lied about, don't deal in lies. So such a simple thing to lead a beautiful, happy life. Don't be a dveshta, just be a dveshta. So when we receive undesirable results, no problem, be a na dveshti, na shochati. यानी कि शोक क्यों करते हो? Why do you grieve? Na kankshati, don't start craving for things. Okay. इसमें हम देखेंगे कि हर्ष और शोक यानी कि एक्साइटमेंट, इलेशन एंड sorrow naturally will be wiped out if already we don't have rag and dvesh, na kankshati na dveshti. So the first two already cancel out the other two, so it's quite simple. When we read it in detail for homework, it will sink in. यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न कांक्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्य समे प्रियः. शुभ और अशुभ परित्यागी. अरे मैं शुभ को भी और अशुभ को दोनों को परित्याग कर दूं? हाँ, एक्चुअली दिस इज द टफ वन टू अंडरस्टैंड. लोग कहते हैं अशुभ को त्याग दो. हाँ, ये तो ठीक है, ये तो मॉरल एथिकल है भाई कि हम लोग वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गिव वे टू एंगर एंड एनवी एंड जेलसी एंड हेट्रेड. अशुभ होता है एंड दैट्स नॉट, इट्स गोइंग टू गिव अस बैड कर्मा. यस, बट शुभ को, पुण्य को भी त्याग करो. पुण्य और पाप दोनों, शुभ और अशुभ दोनों को त्याग करो. व्हाई? बिकॉज पुण्य ऑल्सो लीव्स अ मार्क ऑफ मैंने किया है और फिर मुझे फिर से जन्म लेना पड़ेगा उस अच्छे कर्म को भोगने के लिए. So I have to, whether good life or bad life, whether I am born in the richest of families with the most spiritual of parents, that's of course the best life to have. To have prosperity and spirituality in the family. Wow, I may have the best birth in the next life, but I still have to go through what? Janma, Vyadhi, Jara, Mrityu, the pangs of birth and disease and old age and death. ये sorrow तो हमसे कोई नहीं ले सकता. The sorrows will still come with the best of birth. So why look for birth at all, even by punya? अरे लेकिन मैं पुण्य को छोड़ूं कैसे? Then I'll become a papi ना? No. So the logic here is that when we do punya, it's like picking out the roti from the tandoor with the help of tongs. एक tongs या लकड़ी लेकर रोटी को तंदूर से उठाओ. हाथ से ना उठाओ, उंगली से ना उठाओ, उंगली जल जाएगी. And that burnt उंगली is the impression of punya which will bring new birth. क्योंकि वो impression छोड़ गया है हमारे उंगली पे. तो मन में कैसे? पुण्य का भी impression मन में छूट जाता है. That yes, I have done so much punya. और वो अहम की वजह से I have to be born again. So for a good ethical and for a moral life, don't do ashubh. Yes, very good. But if you want to be a real sant and become to gain moksha, then don't do either pap or punya. That means punya has to be done, but in a certain way. तो एक और एग्जाम्पल है ओशो ने दिया था. उन्होंने कहा था कि if you see a mirror is clean, but if you have a scoundrel, a scumbag, scumbag is an American word, a scoundrel stand in front of the mirror only reflects the scoundrel. वो impression उस पर पड़ता है. Yes, हमारे पापों का impression पड़ता है. Then the scoundrel moves away and who stands in front of the mirror? The sant, the sannyasi, the rishi. Wow, वो impression भी mirror reflect करता है. Very good. In both cases the mirror had a reflection, some reflection. पुण्य का हो, पाप का हो, good हो, bad हो, divine हो, आसुरी हो, देवी हो, आसुरी हो, both. But there was some impression or reflection. But when both moved away, the mirror is pure. The mirror has no impression, no reflection. That is the way the mind should be. Na paap, na punya, shubha, ashubha. Again, a small reminder, punya karna hai, but in a certain way. For example, if we have a bowl of milk and then we say कि मैं उसमें तो बहुत प्योर गंगा का एकदम प्योर distilled water मिला रहा हूँ. Yes, you may mix the purest of water in the milk, but the milk will still be called adulterated with water, naturally, because milk is pure only if it has no other additions. Therefore, the mind, if it carries the burden of punya can become a burden, by the way, because it makes the ahankar very inflated. अरे मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. That inflated ahankar is going to doom us into another birth. And the birth may be beautiful. Yes, it might have prosperity and good life and happiness and joy. But let me remind once again that every jiva who has got a body and a mind has to go through Janma, Vyadhi, Jara and Mrityu. Disease and old age and death, that pain no one can take away. So why look for birth? Therefore it is said, Shubh Ashubh Parityagi. Use your punya as if you are just an instrument. एक instrument हो, just like the tongs, like the stick in the tandoor. मैं तो एक instrument हूँ भाई, और मैं निमित्त मात्र हूँ. I am a nimitta, an instrument of God. I am performing the action, and Krishna ये आपको वापस कृष्ण का है, कृष्ण को वापस अर्पण कर दिया. I don't want to be touched by it. When people know the consequences of punya karma and the consequences of punya touching their ahankara, they will run away from it like running from fire. They will say, no भैया, कृष्णा आपको अर्पण है. Don't burden me with it. मुझ पर इतना भार मत डालो कि मैं पुण्यकारी हूँ. That is a real burden that we may carry. So for chitta shuddhi, for the shuddhi of the mind, chitta shuddhi, all actions have to be done without, again, may I remind, simple things. Mamata, मेरा और मेरे लिए, आसक्ति, detachment, and without karma phal, इच्छा की इसका फल मुझे मिले. 3 simple things if we just mark in life, nothing can touch us with sorrow or dejection or frustration or disappointment. And this is an uninterrupted bliss supply, UBS, अपने कंप्यूटर में फिट कर लिया है. तब हमको फिर where will we ever then find a reason to complain about life? It will be blissful. It is actually blissful. We have covered it up with a lot of exaggerated importance to the eye, and therefore everything that touches the eye is either good or bad. And therefore that is the mistake, is the eye, not the action. So can the action then, can you give up the action? जब भगवान कहते हैं शुभ अशुभ परित्यागी, तो मैं शुभ और शुभ एक्शन को परित्याग कर दूं? नहीं. The rag and the dvesh which goes, the attachment and the aversion which goes with the ahankar of that action has to be tyag. Literally, we cannot take this word literally from Bhagwan and say शुभ अशुभ तुम दोनों परित्याग कर दो. नहीं. Not the action, but the rag and dvesh which goes with the action. Then you will be bhaktiman. Hare Vah, Bhagwan says, then you are ready for a sukshma mind. Your mind will be like that mirror which is reflecting the pure light and has no other impressions on it, na paap ke, na punya ke. And that pure mirror, I will reflect in that. When the mind is pure, only then the light reflects beautifully. That is bhaktiman. Your mind will be so sukshma, so sukshma, subtle, that then you can see me, you will find me. Same priyaha means you will find me. I love such people. I love meaning same priyaha, Krishna is saying. So now the 3 verses to go. I was hoping to finish, but maybe next time. So I'd like to finish with a little story I had here about the eagle, about the word udasin. Udasin means ut asin, upar baithe raho. Now there was this eagle, and it was sitting in the most serene fashion, high above in the branches. And the rabbit who sat under the tree looked up with great envy at the eagle and said, "Wish I could be so serene." And the eagle said, "Usme kya hai? Bas ek jagah chupchap baithe raho, you will be serene." And the rabbit did just that. It sat quietly, and guess what happened? Naturally, there was this wolf passing by, and it pounced on the rabbit and devoured it. So what was the mistake that the rabbit made? The mistake was, just by sitting quietly we cannot attain that supreme serenity and detachment which we are looking for. Rabbit is saying, "Oh, I love your serene detachment and serenity, mujhe bhi chahiye." Small detail eagle forgot to tell him, उसके लिए तुमको ऊपर बैठना पड़ेगा. उदासीन, थोड़ा ऊपर चढ़ के, थोड़ा डिटैच होके, थोड़ा अपने प्रॉब्लम्स और अपनी लाइफ से हट के थोड़ा अलग बैठना होगा, तब तुमको ये प्राप्त होगा. वरना you are going to be devoured by sansar and destroyed by this jagat. So this story I thought I'll add up for Udasin. So what have we seen so far? After this, please. So what have we seen so far? We have seen, I'll give it for homework also, Adveshta, Maitra. This is how we are supposed to live. Adveshta, enmity towards man. Maitra, be a friend. How can we be a friend if we lead them into more and more materialism and more worldly excitement? We can't be a true friend. So a true friend is one who can lead the other into a spiritual life only. So be a true friend. Karun, compassion. Nirmama, unattached to selfish needs. Samadukha Sukha, balanced in joy and sorrow. Sama. Kshami, forgiving. Santushtaha, Satatam Yogi. I'm taking this all from verse number 13, 14 onwards. There are so many qualities. Bhagavan said, just cultivate. In fact, you can cultivate the qualities of any one paragraph, any one shloka, and that will be enough to transform our lives completely. Satatam Yogi, balance. Yatatma, self-restrained. Dridha Nishchayaha, keep your goal very clear. What is your goal? Mayi Arpita, Mana Shuddhi, Mana Buddhihi. Mind will be surrendered to Mayi Arpita, to Krishna, and so on. So, for homework, we are going to look at so many qualities. And all in all, there are some more coming up. So, it's going to be lots of homework, almost 36 siddhis. Siddhis we call it because you have to do effort, sadhana. Without sadhana, without effort, we cannot expect a siddhi, neither in the material world nor in the spiritual world. So, between 13 and 19 verses in chapter 12, how beautifully Bhagwan has just rattled off 36 siddhis to say, yes, cultivate any 5 or 6 of them and your life, guaranteed by Krishna, will transform. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that, Hari Om, I will end here. So, having said that,